Hi, everyone. Hope you're all having a good weekend. This video is the second in the series on pointers, and I'm going to keep this relatively short because I'm actually hoping you'll watch it twice. I think it's an important video because this shows the relationship between pointers and arrays. I remember when I was first learning C++, I kind of found this concept a little bit confusing. So maybe there's a few of you out there that'll find it the same way. So hopefully we can kind of like demystify it from the start. I'm gonna just jump right into the program. If you look here, I've got an array of 5 elements: 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. Right? Nothing special about this. It's an integer array. Nothing special about it. I'm gonna print out each element in the array in a different way. Okay. One of the things you first have to remember, and it probably wasn't anything that you really gave a lot of thought to back when you first did arrays, but numbers without these brackets, okay, using this program for an example, numbers without these brackets, all right, refers to the first element into the array. It's really a pointer to the first element in the array. So if I got rid of these brackets and referenced numbers, all right, it's going to be pointing. It's like a pointer to the first element in the array. So that's what my first line is. My first two lines of code are I'm going to see out the I'm going to see out the asterisk numbers. That's dereferenced. Remember we talked about that in the last video. Dereferenced numbers. And I told you when you see the dereferenced numbers, you should always, the thing that I always think of is what's pointed at by numbers, right? I always see it when I see the asterisk in front of the name like this. I always think what's pointed at by numbers. So that's going to be 10, all right? That's going to be the same thing as numbers subscript 0. So this first two lines is going to print out the 10. All right, second line of code, right? The second element in the array is something that you all have used many times back in 114 and probably already in 115. We're just going to see out numbers 1, the second element in the array. So that'll print out the 20. All right. Now the next one's a little tricky, and this is one that when it pops up in code, you just don't intuitively understand. You have to sit and look at it for a second. It'll get easier over time. The third element in the array is, right, the asterisk, basically the dereferenced numbers plus 2. This is like saying, remember, numbers is really numbers subscript 0. So numbers plus 2 is going to be the third element in the array. It's going to be a 30. All right. So don't get thrown by this. The asterisk and in parentheses, numbers plus 2. That's just saying, numbers by itself points at the 10, plus 2, then goes to the 20, then goes to the 30. All right. So we got two more elements to deal with. And I threw these in a for loop because this is something you see quite often in code that you might be given. The fourth and fifth elements in the array is, and I've got a for loop here, all right? I'm starting the for loop at 3 because numbers 3 is going to be 40. That's what we want. And I'm going to increment it one time where it prints out the 50 also, right? But look how I've got it here in the next line. See out, dereferenced, or like I said, look at it, what's pointed to by numbers plus I. So it's going to print out numbers plus 3, right, which will be the 40. Then it's going to print out numbers, it's going to increment, and it's going to print out numbers plus 4, which is going to print out the 50. All right, I'm going to run the code. So there's the output for the 5 elements. All right, like I said, I'm going to stop this now. I'm not going to go on and on about this. Please watch this video again and just kind of soak it up and know the different ways that we can actually access the five elements in this array, and think of how it's the same as using a pointer, or not same as, we are using pointers in some of these.